the Beetle experiment. There are these huge cockroaches, well, beetles, and they're about this big and they come from Kazakhstan. And they were flown in a box that had a day-night cycle, I think. I don't know if the lights were going, initially they went on every 24 hours, 24-hour cycle, so much like 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And the Beetles were just in the box. I had to do nothing but keep the lights on and off on the Beetles. And there was a clock that was doing it. And the idea was that they had come from Kazakhstan, which is where we launched from, which is where the Beetles had launched from. I launched from Florida on the space shuttle. They'd been brought to the space station Mir, and in their cycle, initially, they had the lights turned off completely for like, and these Beetles, by the way, don't need anything to live. So that's why you didn't have to feed them, you didn't have to water them. There was just maybe some dampness in that suitcase box for 4.5 months that kept those Beetles alive. So they were scurrying about inside the box, initially totally dark. And the question was, what rhythm would the Beetles have without any light at all, without any clue about what's going on the Earth, because they're floating weightless around in the Mir station. And those Beetles shifted to a 25-hour day, which is really mysterious because ours is a 24-hour day. So their kind of free-running biological clock shifted to a 25-hour day. But what they found was that they initially were not synchronized to any particular spot on the Earth, and then their biological clock synchronized to Kazakhstan. And it's a mystery to this day as to how the Beetles know what's going on in Kazakhstan when they're in space going around the world every 90 minutes.